Hi, my name is Jim Roy. I'm a former PGA and Champions Tour player. I'm here in Syracuse, New York at my home course, Bellevue Country Club. In this video, I want to talk about 3 keys that will help you become a more consistent driver of the golf ball. Through my golfing career, I've had the opportunity to play with Calvin Peete back in the 80s, who I don't know if he missed a fairway for a decade. And then on the Champions Tour, I did get paired with Fred Funk a couple of times, and there's another guy that hasn't missed many fairways. And they both share some similarities in how I think they approach the driver, and maybe some of these similarities you can work into your game and help you drive the ball more consistently. One thing you'll see if you go on the driving range is the tour pros always work on their setup, ball position, posture, and they also are always constantly working on their rhythm. So those are the 3 keys I'd like to touch on, is your setup, ball position, and your rhythm. So you can see here I've got a alignment rod here indicating my target line, and then perpendicular to that I have another golf shaft that's going to help me see where my ball position is. Okay, so it's important, at least to start out, to play this driver a little more forward in your swing. Okay, so right here you can see it's off my left heel. Now that may work perfectly for me. Some of you out there, it might be better if you're an inch behind that, maybe some a couple inches in front of it. But this is the reason we want to set up a little bit of a workstation so we can see what works best for us. Another big factor is posture, okay? I think a lot of times people get a little sloppy with their posture, so let's talk about that a little bit. I want to feel like my weight is evenly distributed between my toes and my heels. I feel like my legs are ready to go, okay, they're active, and there's a bend from my hips, so I'm going to feel like the lower part of my back is a little bit straight. My arms are hanging down without any tension, okay? So from this position, I feel like I can make a good shoulder turn going back and then come back through and rotate into a balanced finish. If you watch Calvin Peete before hit balls, you can YouTube him, watch him and Fred, you're going to see they're always in balance, okay? So one of the things I like to do to try to help myself with balance and rhythm is to get set up positively with my posture. I know my ball position, and now I'm just going to try to hit these drives 150, 160 yards, okay? So in order to do that, I've got to slow everything down. So I'm set up here with good posture, and I'm just going to make a swing. And that ball probably only flew about 150 yards, okay? So what I like to do is make these swings with this kind of rhythm, because it gets everything in sequence. Particularly with the driver, we see a lot of people get up to the top and they're very quick, and just that kind of quick motion can throw the whole club path off, and the chances of hitting a good straight shot are really minimalized. So again, good posture, ball positions off my left heel, nice light grip pressure, and I'm just going to hit this ball 150 yards in the air. And you can see that they're dead straight, okay? So from there, after doing that a few times, and when I say few, I think I've done this as much as a whole practice session, just trying to get my rhythm and get my sequence right, okay? I'll try to increase the speed just a little bit. So I've got my posture, nice grip pressure, and I'm just going to increase the speed a little bit. So that ball probably flew about 200 yards. So this is a great exercise for you to become aware of what your club's doing in a swing. I think it's important that you kind of have that feel of what the club head's doing. Now, the reason I think it's important for us to have this shaft down here to do ball position is you can kind of self-correct your mistakes while you're practicing. If your tee shots while you're doing this drill constantly are going off to the right, you may want to take the ball position and move it forward, which will allow that club a little bit more time to square up. So now I've got the ball positioned more off my left instep, and when I do that and make my swing, that ball will start a little bit left. In that particular case, it cut right back to the target line. If your tee shots, and this is a problem for a lot of players, if your tee shots are starting left and slicing too much, then we want to maybe move the ball back in our stance so you can have the feeling of coming in and out with your path, okay? So this ball, now I've got the ball a little farther back in my stance. It's going to allow me to feel the sensation of coming more from the inside, and this ball should start a little right. And you can see that ball's drawing back. So you can work on your path with different ball positions. So the nice thing about having a workstation like this is that you can kind of self-correct depending on what your ball flight's doing. If you're constantly missing shots to the right, experiment a little bit and put the ball more forward in your stance. And that's going to allow the club another half a second to square up and maybe start the ball on line. If you're starting the ball too far to the left, experiment. Put the ball a little bit farther back in your stance. And that's going to allow you to catch the ball a little bit more on the inside quadrant and maybe start the ball out to the right instead of left. So these three things, I want to keep it simple, because if you watched Kelvin and Fred Funk drive the ball, they kept it simple. Great posture, consistent ball position, and great rhythm. So try these out, and I guarantee you're going to start hitting more fairways. Now, if you like this video, press the like button, and also we'd love to hear from you. So give us a comment on what other areas you'd like us to cover. And there's another button there that you can subscribe to the website where we have a lot more videos that you can watch.